My lovers, strictly for my lovers, as in my counterparts. This message here, King of Swords at the bottom of the deck here, saying things clearly. I can see clearly. Anyway, this message here is more of a reminder. There's something coming. There's something that's coming within love. I thought I heard something. Whatever it feels like you've been manifesting, dreaming of, hoping for, it's coming. What you need to remember is that you have all the love that you need, and you are all the love that you will ever need. All that love, all that light, all that purpose, all that passion that you sought within another is already within you. You were seeking that. And then because it already resides in you, you just couldn't see it within yourself. That's something to remember moving forward. As we work to not fall back into codependent patterns, the old tendencies. It's easy to get caught up in love for the sake of love, right? Especially as divines, as on a counterpart journey. The love of love, understanding that a big part of your mission here was to love, like is to love, to be of service in that way, and to be a teacher, right, of the power of love, the potency of love, the importance of it, and the importance of union, right, in terms of raising the earth's consciousness and progressing us. So really consider right now at this time, we've been doing a lot of boundary work, a lot of integration work. Even still, dig a little deeper. How can you establish even better boundaries? Boundaries that you don't waver on, and where is it that you still are lacking boundaries? That's one thing to really consider. I just saw 222. How can you better nourish yourself, better water your own garden, to understand that the end goal was never the person, even though that is what's coming. The end goal was never that person. The end goal was to meet yourself, to fully meet yourself, and to be able to authentically express yourself, right? To bring that up from your depths into consciousness, into light, right? And step into the light and be of service in that way. Excuse me, confirmation on that. How can you really embody that? How can you really nurture that, and give yourself more nourishment in that, more healing in that? How can you bathe in the healing essence of nourishing yourself? Which sounds all poetic and whatnot, but whatever. So sitting with that for a second, because that's the only way that a union is ever going to work between you and your counterpart, because you have to be focused on yourself. You have to be nourishing yourself so that you are 100% aware and ensure that what you're doing is coming from a place of alignment. What you're doing is coming from the purest heart space, and not for results for the sake of results, because that's not divinely aligned. And that is very much like capitulating to capitalism. And I just got in a rush for a second. That's kind of the point, to not be in a rush. It drains you. It creates this sort of brain fog. It takes you out of alignment, and it drains your essence. And that's why it's slow and steady. That's why this year has been the snail's pace that it has been, for us to learn to sit in that, to find safety in that, because that is what we want to continue to, cultivate moving forward. That's not to say that things are always going to be slow, but it's understanding that we are cultivating a new awareness, a new way of being, and being that beacon of light, that source of inspiration and guidance for other people. So really, really understanding that. And again, not getting caught up in what everything looks like externally. At this time, maybe you haven't heard a peep from your counterpart, flame, what have you, right? Um, Maybe things seem like they're at an impasse. Who knows? But regardless of that, keep holding the vision. And even deeper than that, keep holding the vision of what your life is, right? So it doesn't necessarily hinge on this specific person. If you feel like you are, a counterpart and a divine pairing, that can still manifest differently. It doesn't have to be that person that you have in mind, but it's holding the vision that that type of love is coming for you. That type of love is what you've been preparing for. That you know that you are called here to be a source of love and to teach this sort of love, and keeping that vision, not necessarily keeping the vision of holding on tightly to this specific person. Has to, it has to come to fruition through this person. Otherwise it's not a true union. It's not a true counterpart experience. That's not the case. That's not why you're being called. But also understanding that through this, the importance of all of this was to awaken your own gifts in order for you to teach others, show others, help others. Let's get your energy. Let's get what to focus on. That's what's happening. That's what you need to, keep in mind, but what tangibly to focus on. But your current energy first. Ooh, I just got really tired. And that's kind of the point. It's like don't burn yourself out. Remember that's something that we've been working on. We've been working on doing things differently. I cannot stress that enough, because you start to burn yourself out, and I promise you, spirit will put you in another timeout. And as I say, put you in another timeout. The Hangman reverse. You're being granted this time to come out of this, right? But if you aren't learning, if you aren't approaching life differently, right, viewing things differently in love and life, and how you go about things, how you feel about yourself, which shapes how you traverse through life, right? This can easily turn into an extended suspension. You know what I mean? And having to revisit certain things, like a perpetual sort of state, because you're not learning lessons. Something to consider. I'm seeing a sloth in my head. I don't know why, but I'm seeing a sloth. And then we have the Four of Cups. So we have Page of Cups, the Hangman reversed, and the Four of Cups. That as your energy. Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck here. You embracing this joy, this kid-like feeling, right? You just embracing like the joy of life, creating for the sake of life, loving for the sake of love, right? As you're here to do, embodying who it is that you're here to be, love, the purest expression of love. And remember, the purest expression of love has healthy, very clear boundaries, very protective of those boundaries as well. I feel like someone needed that. That's what's going to move you forward. That's what's going to kind of bring this situation out of this veiled state, right? It's like once you're focused on that, really, okay, the Four of Cups really talks about like very apathetic, dissatisfied energy. But with this here and the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck there, literally the cup that's being offered here, it's like there's a new offering coming in here within love, within this counterpart connection, whatever that may look like. And I feel like you can kind of sense it on one level or another. Two of Cups. Don't let this make you apathetic. Don't turn into the star at the bottom here. Yeah, like don't remember all of this is to say, remember all the work that you've done, right? This isn't for you to keep in mind everything that I said in the beginning, but also remember on the flip side of all of that, like remember that you didn't just come here to just experience all those like bad things and like get caught up in it and then like become a shell of your person. No, you have love. You are love. You are the embodiment of love. You have love to give, so much love to give. That's one of your greatest gifts here. Don't hide that and don't shy away from it. Like don't shy away from receiving it as well. That's another thing. Like one, look at how you can establish clear boundaries, but also look at how you can deepen into receptivity, into receiving, into being taken care of, into other people nourishing you, pouring into you, filling your cup there, right? And how you can sink more into that healing energy, not healing as in shadow work, but healing as in light embodiment. Excuse me, confirmation freaking burp. To understanding that, right? Watering your own garden so that you aren't relying on someone else to do it, but also understanding that other people are allowed to nourish you, pour into your own cup, right? Like both of you pouring into each other's cup. And that, like, yes, the entire point was to meet yourself. This is so contradictory. Stick with me here. I mean, or don't at your own, whatever. This is contradictory. I will acknowledge that. It's like, yes, the point is not to find love with another person, but at the same time, we're not put on here to like just be alone. You know what I mean? Like, especially divines, the entire point is, yes, for you to meet yourself. But also, it is like to also show people through that love with another, through union with another, right? Like to teach people new ways of love and forgiveness, right? The true power of like divine love. Do you know what I mean? Because it strips you down of everything. And it is this potent, raw, sort of very like kinetic life force energy. Don't know why kinetic came to mind, but yeah. Right? Very palpable. And that's something to remember. So it's like, don't shy away from whatever it is that's coming. I mean, or do. Get in the way of the new reality that you're creating. Get in the way of your own gifts if you want, if you so choose, right? But it's like, no, this was all just for you to see yourself, for you to look within the mirror, for you to walk through this portal that you were being invited into, this great hall of light, of refinement, new beginnings here, with the Fool here, right, to see yourself, to free yourself through all of this. And in freeing yourself, you have that sovereignty, you have that agency. You're no longer codependent. And so you can hold space for another because it's not your sole focus, because you know what you're here for is bigger than some other person loving you. That's the entire point, right? But it's also understanding that it's okay to want to be loved by someone, and it's okay to be loved by someone, right? It's okay to be in union. That's why it's so contradictory. It's understanding that, yes, we're here to be sovereign and stand in ourselves, but it's also like, you're not here to be too sovereign. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not, like, we're not meant to be alone. Humans look like the most, like, the cruelest punishment that you can do to someone. There's a word that I'm looking for. Why is Eighth Amendment coming to mind? It might actually be whatever is tied to the Eighth Amendment. But the worst thing that you can do to someone, like the most psychological torture you can put someone through, is isolating them. Like sustained periods of isolation. Because we need people, because we're communal by nature. Literally, it's like essentially that. This was all over the place. I'm good with that. You're not too cool for love. Don't act like you're above it. Don't act like you're above union, being vulnerable with another person, giving yourself to another person. There's a reason why this is coming up, because don't forget the lessons that you've been learning here, right? That's kind of the entire point. Because part of why you stumbled so much was this lack of belief in yourself, this lack of belief that you can stand on your own and also stand in love. Lovers. And that you're not, you're not too above forgiveness. You're not this like lonely, lonesome, like Scrooge out in the cold, like Scrooge. I would say Grinch, but the Grinch was really speaking facts there. That was the Three of Cups there that came out reversed. Don't deny connection, joy, your ability to do all of that. Magician. This is kind of getting interesting. Hold on, I was wrapping this up, and I still am actually, because I've got treats to bake. But Emperor, cute. You're your own authority. I mean, that speaks to the sovereignty that I was talking about. Sovereignty, agency, order in your life, right? Like, you're not gonna get lost in this. I guess that's kind of the point. That was the King of Wands that was trying to come out. Ten of Cups actually did come out, and Justice. You control this. You are the ruler of this, the authority of this, the leader in this. You are creating this, both of you, your own inner divine masculine and, the masculine counterpart. It can be this, right? You can have this injustice is what you put in is what you get out, right? We can sit in this energy, keep sitting in this lonesome sort of energy, or we can move more here to love, connection. Because regardless, it's coming in. Something's coming in, something's coming for you. I know this was all over the place, but I don't actually give a damn. Six of Cups, as I say, something's coming in. Spinning the block. Something's spinning the block for a positive, for a good. It's something that you wanted. That's kind of been veiled from you, right? Whatever's been bubbling on the surface, whatever's been sort of being created, it's been veiled from you for a reason, probably because you fuck it up, even though it's, something that you really, really desire. And you've been doing the things. You've been doing the things to get to where you could sit in that Ten of Cups energy. That's why the Nine of Cups came out as a reminder. Literally, Seven of Cups at the bottom of the deck here. Don't get caught up. Don't. Favorite line. Not my most favorite line from this artist, but favorite line from this song. Don't get caught up in caution when love exists. You got your head on straight. You know what to do, what not to do. You've done the things. That's why we had all that in the beginning. For those who are still stuck in that, dealing with that, working through that, this isn't for you, babe. We can get a message out for you, later on today, tomorrow, what have you. But this is for those who know that they've been doing the work. And this is also for people who, yes, you've been codependent in relationships, but there's this codependency that existed within you that you had to move through. But at the same time, you're also very avoidant. You run from love. You run from love. And now you've dealt with that. So are you gonna run from it again? I hope not, but you make your own decisions. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to relay the energy that I'm picking up on. And I'm picking up on you have a tendency to sabotage your own happiness. And you just need to remember all the work that you've done. You need to remember that you're not going to fall back into old patterns. And you also need to remember that, yes, the entire point was to find yourself, to stand on your own, to not be dependent on this. But also, this is a part of your soul mission. This is literally a part of why you were here. You needed to learn how to stand on your own because your love is so great. It's so deep. It's so integral. Like, it's integral to what it is that you're here to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hope that's making sense. And if it's not making sense, honestly, those who this reading is for, this is going to... It's going to resonate. It's going to click in your head. Those who's not for, maybe you'll understand this later, right? Maybe it's just not for you. That's for you to, for you to discern. But you know what I mean here. You know that you go through certain things in order for you to be able to know that you can fall this deeply into this love. Because that was the entire point. So this is like the people who struggle with being vulnerable, being seen and loved and trusting and understanding that you can soften into partnerships. And this is on both ends, right? Masculine and feminine energy, that you can soften into love. You can trust love. You can rely on someone else. You can let someone see that, that vulnerable underbelly. You know what I mean? Like that, it's like the new snake skin that regrows. Like, but it's, it's always existing, right? Because we always have that ooey gooey vulnerable side. You can let someone else see that, let someone else in. You've done all the work for that. You've worked through all the things. You're not gonna lose yourself again. Now I'm repeating myself. So yeah, I love you so much. I want to play. If this resonated with you, let me know. I'm curious. But yeah, I love you so much. Merry Christmas Eve to those who celebrate, and regardless of if you celebrate Christmas or not, I hope that you are having the happiest of holidays at this time, and that you are surrounded by love, and that you remember that you are loved. Bye. Have a wonderful day.